John's chomping at the bit.
Catch them all out.
Here we go. Afternoon, chaps. Hello, gentlemen. Enjoying watching the shows. Sorry for this chomping noise. That's just my dog, who's literally under the microphone. So if you can hear any noise during the show, it's just the dog.
I'm sure it's not seagulls.
Tell you what, we were saying about it yesterday. This morning, they didn't shut up. They're all back again. But I didn't hear any yesterday. But yeah, this morning they were giving it loads. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Flory Models 3 o'clock lockdown show. Yay! See, look, this is going to fox a lot of people, I reckon, because we're either an hour late or we are like, what, sort of 4.5 hours early. Oh, yes, got to blame the dog, definitely. Good afternoon, everybody. We trust you're all doing very well. Everyone's just piling in as we speak. Look, everyone's flooding in. It's a bit like, you know, the cinema where everyone's still getting their drinks. So you start it a minute early and everyone's now piling in. So yes, very, very good. No, it's Molly. Molly's down there today. We did have both of them a minute ago, but Lola's probably gone back to bed. But Molly's decided to chew her bone literally just there. She's that side. So yes, good job. Anyway, we trust you're doing very well. How's the team doing? We all doing? John, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Are you enjoying your week off?
I am enjoying my week off.
Getting lots of modelling done.
Spent in here, I must admit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little package turn up this morning as well. So.
What, from the post? Yeah, you have to drag it in because you're on a smaller camera to fit you all in. Hold on, I might be able to do it this way.
So I've got me high C's or
I don't know which one you're under. Oh, you've all moved again. Oh, God. I set this up. Oh, look, Nathan's all right. Hold on, let me just fiddle with John. Hey.
So I've got my C sick.
Very nice.
Oh, right, okay. I've seen that one actually in a video coming out of the sea. It goes up onto like dry dock, so to speak.
Which I only received this morning, and there it is.
There you go. Good going.
Little kit. Absolutely, it almost snaps together. I don't think there'd be any filler at all on that.
Very nice indeed.
And that is well for the Anzac SIG.
So is this it now? You've sort of fallen in love with Kitty Hawks. This is your second Kitty Hawk kit.
I know, scary, isn't it?
It is, especially that kit.
Yeah, this boxing's got a Kiwi, a New Zealand Royal Navy, New Zealand Navy markings in it, so that's for the Anzac SIG.
Very nice. Cool.
So yeah, looking forward to doing those.
Very nice indeed. And over to Nathan. How are you?
I'm all right. Busy day.
As I say, you've been teaching this morning.
Been teaching up until about 5 minutes ago, haven't I? So I've been doing this all day, but on slightly less interesting topics. But I'm still working on my Mary Rose. I've kind of redone some bits. Well, the photographs will go up soon. I've kind of took stuff off and basically debodged it. So everything that was a bit of a bodge, I've taken off and done it properly. And last night I sprayed extra acrylics.
Wow. Tell you what, I haven't done that for a few years now.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's not much fun, but it's the only Azure blue that I had, so I had to. So I'm working on Pramjit Spitfire.
Very nice.
Lovely little kit. So I said it last week, I'll say it again. Really enjoying this little Spitfire. So next up is the top camo. And then that's it. That's all I've done this week. Not much.
Very nice. Cool. Right. And Andy, speaking of Azores Blue, what did you use for yours again?
I used different ones, didn't I? I started off with the Tacker, which seemed a bit too purple.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Mr. Colour, I think. Can't remember.
Ooh.
Such a lot. In fact, we were talking last night about what colour we used. I used for the other two colours, the brown and the
Midstone.
Yeah, Midstone, and I couldn't remember them either. What a clue. I don't know. I've got various ones, and I'm not sure which one I did it in.
Cool.
Yeah, and I spent all morning prepping the VM site ready for the weekend.
Very nice. And we've got lots of sales lined up.
Yeah.
Yes.
There goes the
Tons of
Sam.
There's a Sam, yes.
I think his live lessons have just finished for the day.
Very nice. Very good. Okay, Mr. Matt, how's things?
All right. Yeah, I've had a right busy morning watching Andy do all the site stuff.
Very nice. Right, keep talking. I'm using this go round to just set up all the cameras again and sort it out. There we go. We're all good. We're all back in. So yes, very, very nice indeed. Well, as I say, we've got a couple of things. I've got a box of goodies to unpack, do a live unboxing just down in here. So obviously we'll be doing that a little bit later on. But as always, because this is technically our Thursday night show in the afternoon, so we're going to be having a look round on the actual site and see what you guys have been up to. So starting off with a very, very nice, although it's just a shame the pictures are a bit small. This is the 48 scale. Beautiful. I've got all the details down in here. Academy CH53. This is a Super Stallion. Very, very nice indeed. This kit is one of those kits that should be readily available all the time, but it never is. It sort of comes and goes. And the last Icarus we saw of it, wasn't it, was the old, what's it called? The mine hunting one. It's got a name, Sea Dragon.
Sea Dragon, yeah.
Which has got the massive sponsons on the side for towing that big thing behind it. So, yes. Very, very nice kit. But I have to say, it's beautiful. Love it. Really nice job on that one, isn't it?
You need to build one of them, Phil.
I tell you what, I would love to. I've never done it. Closest I've got to it, I've done the Jolly Green Giant. But it'd be nice to do the Super Stallion like that. I must do it. But again, can't get hold of the kit, can we?
No.
It goes hen's teeth. But beautiful paint job on it. Nice. It's not easy to photograph something like that. But again, it is a lump and a half. It's very, very impressive. It's an impressive aircraft, full stop. But yeah, really very nice, that one. We like it a lot.
Oh, yes.
But
Yeah,
where do you put the throwing star, as I call them? I've got like a couple of 35th scale helicopters here, and they're all on top of cupboards and that. Literally, the blades sat up there, or there's one in a cabinet on its side. So yeah, it's a case of what to do with it. But yes, absolutely fantastic job on that one. Very, very, very good, and also very nice because we've got full descriptions of all the bits and pieces used and all the stuff. So well done, Daniel. It is an absolute cracker. We like that one a lot. Next up, we've got Darren, and he's done an ICL 0. This is the Tamiya 72nd one.
And it's been brush painted as well. So
there you go. And not a brush stroke in sight.
No, it's a really good quality finish. And I think if you didn't say it was brush painted, you wouldn't have known it was brush painted.
No, no, definitely not. Kudos to that one. Absolutely fantastic. Nicely weathered as well.
Yeah.
And again, I always think it's not easy to weather when you're brush painted.
No.
You know, it's easier when you've airbrushed it and everything's mute, but when you've been hand painting it as well, it's testimony to your actual hand painting skills. So yes, very, very good job.
Nice finish for the C60 as well.
Very good. Very, very good job indeed. And then we've got Romanian Ron, who's a Scottish guy who lives in England, who's trying to be Romanian. Just to say. I'll tell you what, with his accent, they've got no hope of understanding him. Anyway, Ron's been doing this one over a few months now. This is his Romanian F-16A, which is the Block 20. So if I remember right, you used the kinetic kit on this one, didn't he?
He did, yeah. It's kinetic.
Yeah, he used the NATO Viper kit. And again, turned out absolutely lovely. Nice job. At least the Romanian markings have got like a cool camo scheme.
Yeah,
it's not just the standard grey.
Yeah, and that kit, that kit's a fighter. It's a tricky little kit, that one. It's a bit like John's Kitty Hawk kit. It's got ginormous ejector pins all over everything.
Yes.
And then it's very modular.
But
he's done a lovely job. He always, as ever, Ron's always does a nice job.
I think it was actually quite... The funniest thing about that kit is when it first got released, everyone was saying it was a copy of Tamiya's. And it's like, have you actually built it? It's clearly not, because it's a right handful. Obviously they've used the same design and process that it goes through, but obviously it's clearly their own tooling. They haven't copied anything because it's a bit of a handful to get together.
I do knock it, but if you want certain marks of F-16,
Yeah, if you want the early ones, obviously if you want the block sort of 30s and 40s, 50s, then obviously you go Tamiya route. But if you want the early ones and the sort of, you say, the NATO configuration ones, then
And the
it's pretty
Ds
much
as
the
well.
way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got the 2-seat variants. I mean, I built the Chilean F-16D and it fought me all the way, but in the end, it kind of enjoyed building it. And look, the result you can get is stunning. So
Yeah.
The thing is, with the early F-16s, they've got all the best schemes.
Yeah, true.
true.
Um,
You don't have to worry about half-glass paint on the early ones.
No.
no.
So there we
That's a real
go.
thing.
That's Ron's one. Very good. Well done, Ron. Nice job. Next, we've got Alan, and he's done a fantastic job here on the 1/20th scale Ebro. So this is the Brabham Honda BT18F2. Beautiful. Nice job on that one.
Yep. Really nice.
Still screaming out to do one of these, Everyone does them, and I look at them thinking that's really nice. I've just never done one myself.
Well, now you're a master of glossing. You can tackle one.
This is it. Yeah, well, this is the thing. It doesn't frighten me anymore like it would do. You're thinking, oh, God. Mine would look like it's had a fire.
I was now I've got the Tamiya Honda 60s F1 car. And I kept thinking I wouldn't mind building that, and then I realised we're doing the 60s thing, aren't we? I could build it for that.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's like small, actually, isn't it? It's a tiny little part. So.
I'll tell you what I like about these Ebro ones is obviously the way you can display it like that with it all on show, because it's as it would be, and you've got all the workings of it and all the sort of, the tubing for the chassis and everything else like that, but all the workings, the gubbins, they do a nice job on that one. You can really go to town on it. And Alan's done a fantastic job on this, not taking anything away from that, because it's a beautiful finish. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Detail.
Good job,
Anything that
Alan.
has the exhaust pipes just straight up like that. It's like wacky racers.
It's been a noisy little thing.
Tony said he's doing a Honda at the moment for. I almost said he was doing the C60.
I was going to say, is it?
60s, yeah, SIG build.
Yeah. But no, nice. Very, very. What green is that? Is that British Racing green?
Yeah.
Not going down that route.
No, not go there.
Or is it Brooklyn's green?
Yeah, Brooklyn's green. Yeah.
That's nice. Really good job.
Very, very nice job. Well done, Alan. That's absolutely fantastic. Next up, we've got a nice little diorama, this one. So it's 72nd scale for the Academy. We were talking about Academy yesterday. This is the Avenger, and he's had a splash. So really, really nice water technique on this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
I'll tell you what also that I like as well is obviously it looks wet where he's glossed it to give it, because obviously a lot of people, they'll do that effect, but they tend to leave it everything still matte finish, which obviously if it's got water over it, it's going to reflect. So again, a little bit of attention to detail there is really very, very nice, the way it's actually got the wetness where it's obviously been splashed and everything else. So yes, very, very nice. And again, highlight really, like me and Nathan were talking about this before, is the underside, which is like perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that's a really good view of it, actually.
Yeah, it's got that, when you look at it from the underside, the water effect looks even better. It's literally,
Yeah.
see, all you need is a little shark. So yeah, fantastic, beautiful, nicely executed, very nice with the frame system that just frames it up, and that in the frame looks absolutely fantastic. Beautiful work. Very, very nice job there. So well done, Wes. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay, next up, we got something a bit bigger. So 48 scale. This is the Hasegawa Junkers 87G Stuka. That's my German. There we go. Very nice.
Yeah, I think that's the best looking Stuka.
Yes.
The
This is Chris.
Tankbuster one.
Yeah. I've done the 30-second Hasegawa one when it very first came up, the Tankbuster one. That's a beautiful kit. It's like a mini me. Really, very, very nice job on that.
Yeah.
Nice to
Well,
It's really nice weathering. It's got that.
Yeah, it's lovely weathering on it. Not too overboard.
Yeah. It is. It's got very nice, good clean windows and all the rest of it. And as I say, that nice sort of flat, muted look with all the weathering.
I mean, T34's got wrecked by those things.
Yeah.
I wonder if Apex will do later on from this, because
Big gun on it, isn't it?
Yeah. Huge cannon.
But, yeah, the A10 of World War II.
it is, isn't it?
Well, it did, wouldn't it? It used to line up behind him and shoot him in the bum.
On the weak armour as well from above.
Yeah, that's it. He used to dive in from the rear.
Was it Rudelli who was
It didn't need guide brakes, would it? Just give a couple of blasts with those things.
If you're going backwards.
Rudel's your big Duke race. Did he lose his leg at the end?
Don't know.
No, it's got the green contrast just right for me as well.
Yeah.
It's an elusive scheme to get right the contrast between the greens.
No, very, very nice. Good job on that one. We like that one. It's one of those as well, which it could be the 30-second one, because the photos are beautifully done. Really, very, very nice as well. Okay, last up for today, we've got Carl. And Carl's been busy with the Aeroclub 48 scale de Havilland Sea Venom. So this is the FAW22 version. Here he is.
This is proper old school modelling, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We were looking at it last night, and yeah,
It's
great.
It's a backform kit. That's what you've got to. Everybody should go and look at the build thread for this. To get that result from what was in the box is amazing.
Yes, definitely. As I say, it's proper modelling. I know we all sort of, take the easy route. Has he got a link in here? No. But yeah, it's one of those ones where you need to have a bit of dedication to it, taking your time, plenty of test fitting, and it just shows you what you can get at the end of it. So very.
We tend to use route by putting plastic together. It looks a similar shape to what you're building. Yeah, that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Good job. Interesting stuff as well. So well done, everybody. Congratulations. Good stuff on that one. Right, shall we flick over to the questions? Let's have a look at today's questions. Seeing as I've lost them. Hold on. There we go. Ask the team. Back to the top. There we go. Right, okay. So Martin says, hi guys, great show. I've got two related questions. One, is this Imperial Japanese Navy grey right to the float plane in this pic? Sorry, question related. So what is it? Is this? I don't know. I've got Imperial Japanese grey because that's XF14.
Yeah, it's a grey green, isn't it?
It's very, very pale, isn't it? So I don't know if it's that, or I don't know. It may be when it sprays. It's difficult to say because obviously with the lighting and stuff like that, but it possibly could be. And second, what greys to use to achieve the look on this B-52? So what's that picture for then?
I think that's the Japanese thing. Keith Waterhouse is the man to send a PM to about Japanese colours. You might be able to help.
Right, okay. Anyway, B-52, notoriously, they are gunship grey, but this has obviously got the camo pattern down the back.
Yeah.
So it's the brown and the grey. And still, obviously, the one in the background looks like it's gunship grey.
I'm looking at that and I'm thinking it's the fact. I think there's a colour cast on the film.
Yeah.
I think it's got a strange yellow cast to it.
Yes, it's got that sort of sepia look, isn't it? Yeah.
I think it's the photograph.
That's probably taken during the Vietnam War, wasn't it? So
Yeah. So what you're looking at there is probably not the true. I mean, it's quite a hazy day as well. The lighting. I don't know. I think the tarmac looks orange.
Yes.
Isn't it? And I think there's a cast on the.
I would assume it's sort of like a gunship grey because that's your sort of the colours coming off of those. But say you've got different shades where it's obviously had paintwork around the canopy, around the windshield.
It looks like the mud brown pigment underneath.
Yeah.
I'd try and get different pictures. It's a bit funny that.
I was going to say, I think because obviously this has got the chins and all the lumps and bumps, I think this is later than Vietnam. I think this would be an 80s or a 90s bird with these lumps and bumps on it. I don't think it had the Vietnam ones had the chins on them, did it? I don't know. Somebody in live chat. Here we go. What's this? That's a B-52G. They were post-Vietnam. There you go. There you go. The G model was probably Gulf War. So what colour do we reckon these were then? Yeah, B-52 at Guam. Looks Guam-esque, doesn't it, in the background? I don't know. Are we talking gunship grey then, guys, for this? Did they go down that route? I'm not sure when they did.
I have no idea.
It's just hard to tell, isn't it, with the cast on it that.
Yeah, I'm going for the nose,
What it
top
is.
of the nose now. It
Yeah.
looks like gunship grey to me, but I don't know when B-52s went into gunship grey.
I'd use. You see, it's got a crest on the badge on the right hand side of the photograph. It's got white in it.
Yeah.
Use the what? That's a known white, so I'd use that to colour balance the picture first in Photoshop.
Yeah, the guys are saying that's a late B-52G.
What colour is it then?
So it's probably round about sort of 80s, 90s jobbing, isn't it? So I would probably go down the gunship grey as for the grey
And the brown on the top.
on that one. And you say it looks like it's done a brown all over the top.
Someone says it looks like it was shot in the boneyard in Arizona.
So the one in the background is probably the same colour as the one in the foreground.
Yeah.
Great.
Bit tricky to know on that one. As I say, you're probably better off doing your research for the date of when actually that one was and where it was. But I'm just looking at the engines. It's got the newer engines because it's got the lumps and bumps all over it. And I think, the later they get, the more lumps and bumps they had. So, okay.
Yeah.
Tricky. Thomas says, Matt or team, what is the brand of display case that you have in the shop near your favourite Mark II Specials kit in the Bisons, which is now on next to him?
What, these?
Yes.
IKEA. Well, that one's definitely IKEA. That one I've inherited from next door.
Oh,
The
right,
Gebbits.
okay.
It is.
It was having to clear out, but it's probably IKEA or
Yeah,
Argos or something.
it is IKEA. It's definitely IKEA, mate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
IKEA looking at it. It's
Well,
definitely
say the other one, we bought 4 of the other ones, didn't we, when we first got the unit and put them in?
when you come in the shop.
Mm.
So, yeah, IKEA. Cheap as chips. And I tell you what, the man who built them is on today. So, John, how are they to build?
Oh, yeah, bloody IKEA. Yeah,
Like that.
thanks for me that job. I remember that well.
You were loving it. You were on it.
Trouble with
To be
those
honest,
things is,
you've done one, the others were quite easy.
Yeah. Now they're all right for the price though. They're not expensive. So
I've got 2 in my living room as well, and you can actually get a special light for it that goes into the hole in the top.
yeah,
It's a downlight light, yeah.
no, none of mine have got them, but yeah, you can.
I think you.
Yeah,
I
It's
bet you
called
can
a-
probably find they're on the bottom.
hey, it's called a battery operated tea light, isn't it?
No, you can get like the wide ones. Mine's wide to a timer that she
Who's that?
not been aimed turns on.
does she? What? Alexa, turn on the display cabinet lights. I've turned mine off. Stop you lot talking to it. I did that sticky strip, it's like self-adhesive, and I've got LEDs running in my cases. And then just
Yeah.
hook them up to a 12-volt system. So, okay. So yes, no problem at all with those ones. John says, hi team. I recently attempted a chipping effect on a Splinter Camo MiG-29 SMT. I use liquid latex applied with a sponge, not mask oil, but a thinner artist version. It worked fine on the parts with Tamiya thinned with self-leveling thinners, but areas painted with Hataka Laka, it ended up being sealed over for good despite the blue sponge sanding over the top. Guess would be a great effect to replicate blistered paint, or if it was something I want to attempt. It begs the question on whether the hairspray technique would work with lacquer paints also.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does work. Again, it's the thickness of the paint you're putting over the top, though, isn't it? You've got to remember, you've got to break through the paint to get to the hairspray. So if you put a big coat on, you've sealed it in, kind of thing. But I think there is a bit of a window with lacquer, as in because of the thinners will neutralise the hairspray technique.
Yes.
So I think you have got a bit of a window where you've got to obviously.
And I think it gives a bit more of a restrained, sort of more of a worn look than like heavy chipping, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried it with the layouts and stuff, and like I say, we've been over this before, but with the latex in it, it tends to peel rather than chip.
Yes.
And that's the problem, really.
Sorry, everyone's Alexas that I've just set off.
Are we getting complaints?
Yes. I won't do it again. Honest.
Just do Hey Siri this time.
Yeah, that's it. We'll start it with Siri next. Anyway, so yeah, I've done various bits and pieces with it. We've done little shows and stuff. And again, it's one of those things like Matt says, I think it's somewhat to do also with the thickness of the paint. So if you put on a thick coat, it'll never come out, it seals and that's it, because you need it to have that thing where it gets a chink in it and then it peels off. But if you can't get a chink in it at all, it ain't going anywhere. But again, that's the thing. I quite like chipping fluids over using latex because latex peels and it tends to go too much. But I've done it before. I used to get tinfoil, roll it up into a really spiky bowl, mask oil, and then tap it over the model. Then you paint it, and then you just sponge it or rub it off, and it takes lumps and bumps out of it. If you have a look at the Cevixin, did it with that one underneath, and it works very well. But again, that's not using lacquer paint with it. I tend to find with lacquer paints, it's you have to be a bit careful with that one.
Yeah, you definitely have to be quick with it.
The lacquer paints have obviously like neutralised, as well. It's just sealed it down, like you said, if it's not coming off. So yes.
Yes. Okay, Mark says, hi team, great show as always. Double-edged question, what is the best way to get decals printed from a scanned image? Is there a service of this available, as I would like to build either the UK-based RAF Lakenheath or Upper Hayford F111s in 1/48? But decals are rare to non-existent. Afterburner decals did them 053, a Micro Scale did them 315. Now for a plea, does anyone within our superb community have these or be able to scan a high-res image for me? Many thanks. Cheers, Mark. Again, when I've done printing decals. We did it on the B17 because obviously it's got Florigirl on the side of it. It's one of those things, you can't print white, so you need white paper. So if you've got a decal that's in, if you're just doing numbers and stuff, you can just buy letters. So if you're just after like the UH for Upper Hayford markings, you can buy them and literally just make the U, the H, and then the number in. You can do all of those on your own. It's only if you're doing, artwork on them, then it's going to get a little bit of a problematic, because if it's got any white in it, you can't print white. So you have to have a white decal, like I did, print onto white decal paper and then cut all the excess off and do it that way. For scanning them, that's pretty straightforward. Like I've done the video all about it when I did our own decals for the B17. It's just that thing, put it onto your monitor, do it 1:1 scale, and then literally fudge it to the size just by, reducing and making it bigger. Print it onto just normal paper to see exactly how it is, and then you print it onto decal paper and off you go. It's actually quite a straightforward way of doing it. Obviously, we spoke about on other things as well, but to scan someone's decals is technically copyright. It depends if you're after specific artwork or sort of something for it. If it's in black and white, that's very easy because obviously you can just print those and do them yourself. But if you're a bit of a whiz, you could take a photo of the aircraft in particular, if it's a side-on shot of it, and then cut it, take out all the background bits so you've just got it, have it as an image, resize it, and away you go. How do you do it? He's a whiz.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. The other way of doing it also is, rather than using white decal paper, you can use clear decal paper and paint the background white on the actual model. Mm-hmm. Put the clear on so that the white shines through the clear bit of the decal that you're using. Either way works.
Yeah, the nice thing about the reason I like to use white decal paper if you've got any white onto it is obviously you get no silver in.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, like Flory Girl's classic example, because it's a white background just round the actual edge. So I used it and then we cut around it and then printed on. So that way there's no silver in, because to be honest, that's usually the downside to using printed decal papers like that, is that the carrier tends to be a bit, because it's the entire sheet, it tends to be a bit thicker than normal. So...
Anyway, somebody's put a picture of that B-52 up in chat.
Oh, have they?
In a better picture.
In a better picture. Oh, yeah.
No,
That's better.
Yeah, that's more like it.
It's very in this picture, isn't it? It's lost that brown cast.
It's like a completely different aircraft, isn't it?
One of the guys in chat has actually called out what all the colours were. They were, let me just go back. So yeah, it is. It's gunship grey, and then it's FS numbers 34086 and FS 36081. So 81's dark green, isn't it? And 086 is the brown. So that's the colour it was. So it's the grey and the green and the brown camo scheme, because obviously you had the low level version and the high level. It's when they were transitioning, wasn't it, between high and low level type things.
It looks a bit like a cut and shut job, doesn't it? Front end's off one bit and one aircraft and the back end's off a...
Yeah. I have just put a link in the chat to a company that does custom decals. It's called Parks 682. I've never used them, so I can't comment on their quality or even if they're still in business, but I do remember at a Cosford model show a few years ago, I was given a business card by this company. So if you can't do the Photoshop side of things yourself, there is this company that will do it for you for I imagine quite a handsome fee. But
to be honest, there was a company, or there was an individual who used to do it, and I think he got a lot of flack, to be honest, because he used to charge quite a bit. But to be honest, I think if you work out how many hours it would take him, because people were sending him a picture and saying, can I have that? And he would do that thing of taking all the background out, and then he would obviously have to put it through his software and do it all. So if you were looking at somebody sat there doing it, you know, and he's just doing it for, say, £5 an hour, he's still got hours into it and his materials and all the rest of it. So the bit where you get the bill, I think a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not paying that. But you have got some guy who's doing it for the goodness of his art is one thing. Trying to do it and just cover his time and his costs. But I know I spoke to him about it, and he was like, he's not doing it anymore because everyone's taking the P, really, and giving him sort of, you know, hate over how much he charges. But then he says he's giving up his whole evening to do it. He wants something for it, which is fair enough. So can't say much fairer than that. Okay, so Richard says, hello, Flory team. This may be a stupid question. I thought I heard Phil on one of his shows saying that he used X20 for decal setting solution. Is this the case? I have a little micro set and sol, but wonder is X20A would be an alternative. Okay, this, to be honest, has got lots of it on it. I've used it on this as well as my Alien Blood stuff, the Hypersol, but most of it, to be honest, is X20A. It's that thing, if you get on fine with something like Microsol, which is the red one, which is this one, okay, which is those, then absolutely no problem at all. But if you're into, you need a little bit more bite, then I use X20A. But downside to X20A is obviously you've got acrylic paint, it will soften that paint. If you rub it and you go over it for a few times, you're going to get streaks and everything. So that's the nice thing, because Microsol won't affect your paint work. When you're using other things, it will. And if you're using Hypersol, don't touch your decal twice because it will just fall apart. It will melt on contact. But yes, it does work well, because I used it on these back ones because it's two and they have to intermingle. So the great thing is if you use Hypersol, they just melt together. So it's quite nice on that one. What do you guys use?
X28 or extra thin.
yeah, blue for the
I must admit, probably my last 3 builds has been X28. That's been like decal solution now.
Mm-hmm.
It's useful to have that, because then you can use it for thin acrylic paint as well. So it's like a 2-for-1 product then, isn't it?
Yes.
I've got the Mark setter and softener as well, but I prefer set and sol.
Hold on a minute. I'll just mute myself so I can order some more X20A in.
But I think it's that thing, isn't it? For me, I usually go through, I will use Sol, just don't really use the set, the blue one, I use the red one, and then I'll see what happens. If it's not really doing anything, then I'll just move it up to the next level then, and then I'll use something like X20A, see how that goes with it. If that ain't working, or it's something really complex, like it's got to fold over and all the rest of it, or go around a 90-degree corner, then I'll probably use the Hyper Sol, because that stuff is brilliant, but it's lethal. It's one of those ones where if you put too much on your brush and you flood it, it will literally melt the decal. So you have to make sure you put it on sparingly. Nice thin coats with that one.
Yeah, I've been, like I say, the last 3, I've been using that stuff, that Tamiya decal adhesive. Put that on, then the decal, and then X20A, and it's just like painted on.
We have said that it is very similar to, it is like a vinegar, because if you smell Micro Set and Sol, it's what it is, it's the acid. It's a very mild acid, and the acid breaks down the enzymes of the decal, which makes it conform better, and it makes it literally bend and floppy and everything else. So it's actually attacking the surface of the actual, I don't know what it is, the material of the decal. So that's what makes it conform. So it is literally a mild acid. We said before, white wine vinegar smells very, very similar.
You got any Set and Sol there, Matt?
Yeah. What, him here?
Yeah.
He won't. It smells of vinegar. He won't do it. Yeah. Have a good sniff. Tell us what it smells of.
Yeah, I've got some Sol.
I've got all 3 of the Daco ones as well.
Yeah, they're quite good.
Yeah. Yes, make sure you use acrylic thinners. Just to jump in here for guys. Yeah, X20A. X20 won't do anything because it's enamel thinners. It will remove the backing eventually, but it's a long process. But you definitely want to have acrylic thinners. Don't use lacquer thinners, for God's sake, because you won't have anything. You have nothing. You just have plastic.
No, Matt really doesn't like vinegar. So.
He hates vinegar with a vengeance. You can't even have chips with vinegar near him. He gets all girly and starts coughing.
I make sure when I go to work, I don't take salt vinegar crisp with me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, banned. It's banned in the unit.
If he did, he wouldn't be eating them in here. He has in the warehouse or upstairs eating them. But to be honest,
what I've found is, I mean, I've got, like I say, I've got quite a few different decal solutions, but they all work differently with different decals.
Yeah.
Whereas the X20A, you know, it'll work every time on any decal. Well, that's what I've found anyway.
To be honest, I think I'm one of those people that I've been using X20A since around about 1990 odd, and then other things come along and you tend to give them a whirl, but actually nothing's as good. It's a bit like the primer syndrome, isn't it? You're expecting that the world's moved on and there'll be better products, but actually it's not. You end up back. Tamiya decals are a classic, because if you ever have trouble with Tamiya decals, use X20A, because it'll eat those. They wrinkle up quite nicely when you get that on there. So yes, I would say that X20A works better than Tamiya's extra strong decal solution. John, have you got the extra strong one, John, or have you just got the normal one?
No, this is just Tamiya decal adhesive.
Yeah, they do so an extra strong solution as well.
Under the decal.
It's
that's that Mr. Mark stuff in it.
Yeah.
How much is one of these? Is it about £6?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you think the amount of liquid you get for £6? It's a lot cheaper than the dedicated.
How many people now, hands up, have all gone off and smelt your Micro Set and Sol? Because they're all saying, you're right, it smells like white wine vinegar.
Yeah, this cost me $5.75 for what, 250 ml.
So won't isopropyl alcohol work the same?
Don't think so.
It might do, but it's going to be quite aggressive on your paint.
Won't that soften everything near it? It's basically rubbing alcohol, isn't it?
I bet it'll work, you know.
Well, why don't you water it down a bit, dilute it a little bit, and then try it?
Low concentration, you could do.
I'll chuck it over this, it'll be fine.
Right, that's it.
You have
But
to
you have to do the Tamiya decals. Sorry,
Yeah.
Rob.
I could say you did have the lid weight on properly.
Yeah, I'd now be crying. We've gone off air. Technical
It'd be a very short
difficulties.
show.
Yes, that's
I wonder
it.
if IPA would evaporate too quickly.
You what, sorry?
It might do it.
What if
Actually,
IPA?
yeah, Nathan's got a good point there. I think IPA would evaporate too quick. It wouldn't do much. It would be gone.
More retarder in it.
Yeah. I
God,
reckon
by the
if you
time
tried-
we've made this witch's brew, I might as well just use my X28.
Yeah, just buy some X28.
Okay, Paul says, hi team. Might sound a bit strange, but I'd like to ask about the options for dirtying up a canopy. I'm currently building a 132nd Hasegawa Storch in desert camo. The greenhouse was polished and clear dipped as normal, but on reflection, I know that once it was is revealed, it will be shiny as hell compared to the heavily weathered aircraft. Any suggestions to weather maybe a light coat of sand or clay wash?
I built that kit. It's upstairs above my head.
You could go extreme and do it like that, because that's what I've done all of the windows with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you get your windscreen wipe marks as well, so it's great. So you just put a cotton bud and wipe it clean. But yeah, you could literally just put some wash, if you're using the clay wash, obviously. I wouldn't try it with anything else, clearly. And just airbrush it on. Just give it a light dust coat, and then you can just give it a bit of a buff, so it goes in the edges and stuff like that.
Pigment works as well.
Pigment, yeah.
I won't go any further than that, really. I won't go down your enamel washers or thingy, but pigment or like your wash will do, because you can clean it off pretty straightforward if you're not happy with it, can't you?
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, mine's the desert one, and I actually kept it all thingy because I did all the etching inside, and I'm thinking, I'm buggered if I'm going to do the windows up so you can't see in it.
And in reality is, don't forget, most aircraft, before they're flown, have all the glasswork cleaned. You often see crew, because obviously it's quite important, because what you think might be an enemy aircraft might actually be a fly splat stuck to your windscreen. And you say that, but there's a very famous F4 pilot from Vietnam, and I can't remember which one it was, which chased what he thought was a MiG for about 20 miles before he realised it was actually a squashed bug on his windscreen. Because he saw it as a dot and went after it, and he was saying, I didn't seem to be closing on it, and then I twigged it was actually a bug.
Hey, the thing is, as well, with the Storch, it was a spotter aircraft, so it would have been really clean windows.
Yeah,
but they're going to see a lot, are they?
Yeah.
So,
Could maybe put a little bit of a light dusting down, because it's got like the bulbous canopy, so maybe on the underneath, as if it's kicked a bit of dust up towards the rear of the canopy. But even that bit would be, they'd polish it and clean it. But you want something completely reversible, don't you? So the wash, spray the wash. I reckon I'd do it that way, and then you could always take 90% of it off.
And also it looks good because obviously if you've got like the framework, which would be the metal with the barrings now, it gives the weathering to that as well. So, I think it would work quite well, really. Yes. Okay. So Simon says, hi Phil and team. First, happy birthday for Matt for yesterday. Secondly, the Rifle models, Panzer III, arrived yesterday, perfectly packaged as usual. Thank you, Matt and Andy. Thirdly and lastly, I've managed to get hold of, that's got the picture up, a kit for the Matchbox March. We're planning to do it in April. Yes.
Yeah, Matchbox April, people.
April, it's the future.
Easter's April, not March.
Because, so the thing to this is, and we've had lots of people ask about it, obviously we have only briefly gone this, so we'll get some feedback on this. If people quite like the idea of it, post up in today's section on the forum about doing a Matchbox, possibly old school, so using old school materials on it and all the rest of it. You don't have to, but just for fun, for the Easter egg, because obviously last year it got gazumped completely because we ended up doing a COVID one, which went on forever. And here we are, still in COVID.
Still doing it.
So,
John, show me your Hayford that you're going to build in a weekend.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't think so. I won't be picking that one.
No, it's 4 days Easter. You'll be fine. So anyway, we will see. But obviously, if you guys are up for it, you don't want to do that, perhaps, or we do a sort of all-in casing type thing? Because obviously last year we did the COVID and it went on then throughout the entire first lockdown. So I don't know what's going to happen this year. Clearly, we will have to wait and see.
Oh, just before you go on, Phil, you remember the Tempest missing part? He's got in touch with Edard, and I think they're going to send him one, but they lost the sprues in the fire or something. All the kit sprues were lost in the fire, and will send to me when production resumes ASAP. So
that's good. Yeah,
that's good of Edard, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well done, Edard.
Well done, Edard. Good people.
Yeah.
Adrian says, Phil, thank Matt and Andy. The scraper was delivered today. So good work. There you go. Well done, guys. Good service there from the PM team. See? Don't know how you guys do it. Is the Navy 1815 uniform Oxford blue or midnight blue? Didn't we do this one yesterday?
Yeah, we did this yesterday. We've said it's navy blue.
We think navy blue because clue's in the title, but we don't know. We're only guessing here.
I have no idea.
The only thing I know, Oxford blue, for certain, 100% Oxford blue, is the switches on Stormtroopers' uniforms. They have the blue circles. That was Oxford blue because it's Humbrol Oxford blue. Just saying.
I did a Google and it came up as navy blue.
So it's navy blue. So it's none of them.
None of the above.
Who's navy blue? Because obviously Hataka's navy blue might be different to Tamiya's.
We were saying though, weren't we? Like the midnight blue could be good for shading. And I can't remember like what was the other colour. Oxford blue. You know, you got to think I like shading and all that sort of stuff. So, and blue's quite a bit of a sort of a colour to paint. So, yeah, you might need all the blues to be honest to mix into each other.
Fair enough. So yes, so we're thinking a bit of experimenting then, yeah.
I would say so. Yes, yeah.
But like I said today, if it was an officer's uniform, may not be the same colour as a ranks uniform because the officers probably have theirs tailor-made with proper better cloths and things than the ratings do. So, yeah, I bet you in those days it'd be
proper complicated now, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
and was it made on a Thursday? Because as everyone knows, Thursday's getting near the end of the week.
Fridays are terrible.
Friday afternoon job, you can forget it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Stephen says, hello guys. Last year, Phil talked about being able to upload photos differently sometime in early 2021, meaning you were going to get the new system that would size the photos for the members. Have you made any progress on this? To be honest, Steve, it's literally 3 weeks into the year. When I said early, I wasn't thinking literally a few days in. Again, this is one of those things. I've been working with the forum devs over the last couple of weeks where we did the forum and stuff like that. But because of everything that's happened with the EU, the membership, obviously, there's a massive cost involved to all of this, which I'm already swallowing a little bit, to be honest with you, with the EU side of it. So for the moment, it's probably going to go on hold until we get ourselves all sorted out. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start passing the cost on. If we're going to do photo hosting and people are uploading 10 megabyte photos at a time, it's going to cost a small fortune, which I said last year, I'm happy to do it. It's not a problem. I think it would be a handy thing to do, but people have to realise that it's what your subscriptions are paying for. And if you're not paying for it, you'll lose all your photos. So just be warned on that one. But I haven't, obviously, I want to sort out the EU thing first so we can get the EU side of it sorted. I've got people asking us in live chat now about opening up the site again. Obviously, we haven't had any new members now for, well, since mid-December. So yes, we need to sort things out and get things going. But for the moment, there's not a lot we can do about any of it.
Didn't you say at one time if you did it off an iPhone, it resized them for you?
Yeah, you can upload it in large, medium and small mode, isn't it? So if you did it in medium, it used to always be below 250.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Because I mean, on Android, you have to actually use a proper auto, you know, a proper resizer. But yeah.
No, our one, it gives you the option, isn't it? It says like low, medium and high. That because we're the master universe.
Yeah. We can go back to the navy blue question.
Yes.
You know that 5 degrees of separation thing, like everybody knows everybody else. It's that James has said if he wants the definitive answer, his mum has a friend who works at the tailors that made those uniforms.
Wow.
They will probably have the colour in there.
I would think they would then, yeah. They've probably got a swatch of that, haven't they?
Go for it, Dave. See what you can find.
My lord.
And go down to B&Q and ask them to colour match your paint for it. And...
Right, David says, greetings from Western Oregon, USA. I want to greatly expand my knowledge of World War II aircraft. Can you guys recommend a book or a few books for learning about British, American, Japanese and Russian aircraft? Thanks and happy birthday for Matt.
Thank you.
Me and Nate were talking about this earlier, which I've got one. Let me grab one of mine. Valiant Wings do some absolutely fantastic books, and it's literally that definitive thing about it. But they do a series of books. I don't know if the series have got names or anything different to like that, because this one's just called Airframe and Miniatures number 15. I don't know which ones Nate's got.
You can probably guess.
Yeah, they might be Luftwaffe inspired.
I've got this one.
So there we go.
They do. They're just called Airframe.
Jesus God! Look, we've all got shares. Andy, get yours out.
Oh man, I'm buried on the landing. But I've got a few.
They do reference pictures. A lot of them, they're a bit cheeky to be honest, because this is public domain. So they use a lot of pages of manuals from World War II, but they do a good photography.
Yes.
It's obviously out of date the minute they print it, but the best bit's the profiles.
Yeah.
And the really good bit of this book is it takes you through all the variants.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of these books, but they are, if you're into you've got a casual interest in an aircraft, this one book will do you the lot. And again, plans at the back as well.
Absolutely. The thing with these is, like Nathan was saying, if you wanted to know, or if you're planning on doing a bit of an in-depth build and you wanted to know a lot more about it, it will talk you through the prototype to all the versions of it. It will show you all the different versions and you get a really deep knowledge of the said aircraft. And then obviously with this one, it's got like the UK versions and everybody else is in here as well. Plus you've got all the, like Nathan was saying, you've got nice little diagrams showing, not that you can see much of these, but you know, all the different versions and what's different about them. But you've got, you know, reference pictures, all the technical diagrams, as you might imagine. So pretty much once you've read this, you'll know everything. And obviously Richard, being a good guy that he is, has got all the aftermarket in it as well. So if you're planning on doing a build,
it gives you all the available kits.
It's got all the available kits, and he talks about the ups and downs. And there's usually a couple of builds as well with them in here of other people that have built them. You know, so actually showing you. So the great thing about these is it's a great sort of historical background, teach you all about that particular aircraft right the way through, as well as the modelling side of it as well. So from a modelling point of view, it's absolutely spot on.
And they do, I mean, the other one is the SAM publications, but Valiant Wings mainly do World War II. So if you give them time, they'll probably cover all the Japanese, German, British subjects that you're after.
And they've got different... like these airframe and miniature ones are specifically for modelers, but they do, I think there's 3 or 4 different titles to the series of books in there, depending on what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be very surprised if they don't have a US distributor. They, you know,
again, it's one of those things, if you, what we're talking about is, there's lots of books out there. Like I've got loads of reference books, and obviously if you wanted to know about a specific thing like F-18 stuff, it gives you a good working knowledge of, but nothing as in-depth as you'll find in there, because it's just reference photos, which doesn't tell you exactly what all the bits do, where these tend to tell you a lot more in-depth. So a lot of the reference books I use, as you've seen me with the Eagle ones and stuff. Let me just grab one. Sorry, Mark. Let me just find a couple of different versions. So, like we were saying, we showed this one yesterday. So this one's on the Hornet, and you've got all the pictures you could ever want. And it's got like some text, but there's not much in there at all. But it's great for just references. And then obviously we've got the one here, which is the Read Air publication one as well, which has got a little bit more text into it, talking you through it right the way through as well. But again, it's more of a pictorial book showing you all the different versions of, rather than going down into the depth of it. So if you wanted to learn more about the historical side of it, then you'd probably be wanting to look for specific books on those particular aircraft that you're interested in.
Yeah, so Nigel on the chat's recommended the Osprey books, and they're good for units and aces and battles. But if you're trying to build a model of a Hellcat, that's the airframe miniatures has got the reference photographs and stuff, so it's more focused on the modeler, isn't it?
It's a bit of a broad question in it, because it really depends on whether you want a specific aircraft, or whether you want to cover an air force during a certain period.
I always find the best way to learn.
Research, isn't it?
I find the best way to learn about a subject like that is
build
a model of it, because I've learned so much about a Matilda since building the thing that I never knew before I built the thing. Like the way that the guns offset on the turret, and things like that. You saw, like, you pick these things up by building the things. It's just like a good learning tool, just to know how to do it.
Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. YouTube's always quite handy. Some fantastic documentaries on there. You get a bit of a feel for it. But it just depends on how far you want to go down that rabbit hole, isn't it? As I say, if you're into specific aircraft, for instance, and, there's some great books out there that will teach you everything about them, literally. But if you wanted more of a general of everything, which tend to be what I tend to do, there's other books as well, which we've covered on other shows. So, yes.
I've got some visual aids for the next question.
Oh, have you? Shall I skip it then? Graham says, "Hi guys, what kind of paint is Mr. Colour dark blue label?" Go on then, show us your labels. Which one are you? Are you on 3? No. No, hold on. He's here. So there he is. Go for it.
Mr. Colour dark blue is a lacquer paint,
Yes.
which is akin to Tamiya LP. And obviously we've got their normal aqueous, which is the same as, well, not the same as, but similar to Tamiya XF.
Yes.
That's an acrylic range. And the two are lacquer ranges. And say Tamiya do their own lacquer thinners. And that's Mr. Colour levelling thinners. They do a blue label lacquer thinners as well, standard lacquer thinners, which Matt likes, uses and champions. You can use the lacquer paints to thin either the XFs and the LPs, or the Mr. Colour and the aqueous, but you can't really use the X28 or the aqueous colour thinners to thin the lacquer paints. That's it.
It's a good job actually got every single paint available and thinner, isn't it?
Yeah. apart from the dark blue Mr. Colour one.
Yes. So the Hornet book, Andrew, is the Legacy Hornets. So it's the A, B, C, and D, and it's got all the pluses and everything else in there as well. But it's Daco, the same people who do the setting solutions, funnily enough. But they do a series, and I've got them all over there as well. Absolutely brilliant. And again, these have got the pullouts, so you've got the scale drawing, so you've got all the different noses and everything in there as well. So very much sort of halfway. Very handy things to have. If you're ever going down that thing about, obviously, with you're going to build something and you want to get, perhaps references, of course, you've got Google. Google is always your friend, and chances are you'll probably find 90% of the photos on Google. But if you just want to have the book right next to you and you can glance and go over like that, it's quite nice. Plus the fact they are very nice, what I call coffee table books. So something you can have a flick through in the evening, bit of downtime, and get inspired, really. So, yes. Are we doing a Matchbox build? I don't know. Post up, say, in the today's chat on the 21st's post on the forum, and let us know what you think. If we get enough for it, we'll go for it. If not, we'll eat chocolate. Andrew, hello, Florians. I'm wondering, how do you go about painting an aircraft tail hook in black and white? As the hook itself is rather thin in 30-second scale, you should try doing a 144 version. How would you mask and safely remove the mask? Should I look for decals instead? That's the thing. A lot of kits, they do the decals for them as well. So you could just use a decal, but then you've got to get it wrapped round, and then we're into softeners again to get it to conform round it. Personally, I do the one of rolling it. So you have the tape, and instead of folding it over on itself, I just roll it. So when you undo it, it just unrolls. So you just have a little bit and just roll it up. And I tend to do them, paint it all white, mask it, just spray the black sections, and away you go. But again, you can get away with using a brush, you know, as well, as long as you're quite with it. Or my newfound friend, me Posca pens, as I did all the detailing on this. So yeah. Apparently, Tamiya is bringing out a lacquer thinner with a retarder in it. They already have. It's this one.
Yeah, they have.
It's that
The
one.
orange top.
Because I've got the one without, and mine's got like a buff lid.
Yeah. The buff lid is the normal. The orange one. This has got a retarder in it, so it's called retarder type. So
Yeah.
My yellowy buff lid has not got retarder in it.
Yeah.
So it's like rapid thinners.
Yes.
Oh yeah. They've got two types.
It's all in the lid colour. That's how it is. Cool. Very good. Right. I think that's the last of the questions. Unless anyone popped in.
There's some more.
Oh, is there more now? No, they're all off now, aren't they? God, no, sorry. Close the door now. George says, hello, Phil, Matt, and Andy, and John. What is the physical difference between a Canadair Sabre Mark 6 and an F86-30 Sabre? And what does a 30 stand for the designation? God, anybody a Sabre expert? I am definitely not.
I'm just revising on it now.
Well, the Canadair Sabre, I reckon, will be a license-built one in Canada. That I'm just going for the title.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is.
Is that what it is? It's just a license-built version. Got you.
Different engine.
So which did we have over here? Because the RAF had them as well, didn't they?
Yeah, we had the Canadair ones. Yeah.
Well, we had the Canadairs as well, was it? Right,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, basically it's a license-built version. The F86-30 is just like you would just get early blocks, like Block 60 F16s and Block 35s. They call it that as the Block 30 of the version of that. What that version is, I have no idea. I don't know the Sabre.
I think the big thing with Sabres was the wings. Something about slats or something, I'm not sure, don't quote me. But I think
didn't one have leading edge slats and then the others don't? They just had a solid wing.
Yeah, but the Canadair ones are different engines. The American ones, I think. You'd have to get for that's one thing.
Apparently, it. Oh, right, the CAC. Oh, no, that's CAC Sabre, sorry. CAC Sabre had a different fuselage to have the Avon engine in it.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, no, it was just a relicensed.
Yeah, it's a bit like our British Panther.
They're saying in here that, it's got the Canadair one's got a more powerful engine and vents, apparently. So,
Because even the US use them, didn't they? Yeah.
Apparently, the 30 of the F86 is to do with the wing type.
Also.
There we go. Interesting. There was one just here for you, Nate, somewhere. I'm sure I saw something about a tornado. Oh, Andy says, if you'd like to know about tornadoes, fellas, if you would like to know about tornadoes, fellas, worked on them. They've got almost 40 years. I'll give you the best info you need. There you go. That's Andy. There we go.
Get in touch, join in.
Yeah, you need to join then the Tornado SIG, clearly, and they'll grill you.
They will.
When shows start again, they'll get you in a seat behind the desk, and that's it. You'll be stuck there. Duct tape to it like this. You're like, I want to leave. I only came here for a free coffee.
There's quite a few ex-RAF on the Tornado 6, so I think you'll find a few kindred spirits in there.
Yeah.
Well, they're on Facebook, and there's lots and lots of chatter at the moment about certain Italian kit manufacturers release, but yeah, there's lots of good people on the Tornado 6.
Right, okay, so Murray says, afternoon guys, hope everyone's well. The new 148 scale mini base SU-33 flanker kick was apparently released yesterday. Wondering if PM will be looking to get them in. Getting kits. Oh, did you hear that? It's funny, isn't it?
Is this not the... This is the company that designed the kinetic one, isn't it?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and I believe that the kit is just basically a updated kinetic kit.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It's got new wings though.
Yeah, it's just replacing some of the
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
The kinetic one was the original company was called Aviation Art.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think this company is allegedly Aviation Art in a different name. Allegedly.
There might be one of these companies that keep changing their name every year for some unknown reason. A bit like Merit. They go around changing their name like the bloody seasons. So, yes. Right, okay, so where are we?
But just to answer his question, is that we don't even know if we're supplied to him, huh?
No, we don't know. That's the whole point.
I didn't even know it'd been released.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue, so no, and I don't know who's bringing it in, distributing it, if anybody is or what. I've got no idea.
Apparently, distributors are like so last year.
Yeah.
So last century.
Yeah, so last like 1990s that was when we used to have distributors and stuff.
And it's another expensive SU. We didn't really sell that many of the other ones, did we? So, would we sell many?
I don't know. To be honest, it's a long time ago that kinetic kit. I think that the kinetic version though. I don't think you can get that anymore through them. Allegedly.
I must admit, I've got the kinetic one, so I wouldn't want another.
Yeah, I've got the kinetic one as well. I've got a kinetic one. Does anybody want one? Might go cheap now because I might swap it out for the new one. But yeah, it does look nice. I must admit, I've seen probably exactly the same as everybody else has seen. I don't know any other information. I don't even know who they are. Just there's a lot of rumours going around them at the moment about them. But it does look nice. The wing, at least it's got decent two-stage flap system on the wings and stuff like that, which the kinetic one doesn't. So it does look very nice. But the truth will be, if we can get it in the UK, let's face it, everybody seems to be able to get them fine if you live in China.
Well, it's where they're manufactured, so we should be able to get them out there, really, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so Dave F. Regarding photos, I use an iPad, just resize to 1,000th width. It works flawlessly. Yeah, absolutely. Say if you go 800 or 1,000, you're definitely below the limit for what it'll need. And to be honest, all the photos I upload are always 800, and they are big. So, and again, you don't have to scroll for miles. Then, if you get somebody with a massive photo, it takes up the entire screen. You have to scroll past it. Like this one here is probably around about 600. So. Anyway, Adrian, good afternoon, chaps. For the 60s build, I've got the Esky F100 Thunderbirds. Firstly, this kit has raised panel lines. So what is the easiest way to put these back in? Again, raised panel lines are a little bit of a nightmare. When you've lost them, you're not going to get them back exactly the same. Two options. One is to use a very sharp blade and cause a V-trench in the plastic. So when you cut it, because you're just going to groove it with a very sharp blade, it will put a V because you'll push down and the material gets pushed up. Unless you're looking really closely, and especially if you've got a little bit of weathering going on, you won't notice it's a V and it just looks like a raised panel line again. So that's how I go about it. And I've rescribed 48 scale stuff like that, and it's very difficult to see it. And the second, what is the best metal paint? As you can see, the two tones, assuming the darker is the heat. I think it's just different metals as well on those. I just put forward. Again, looking at the photo, it's very difficult, like we were saying before. It could be anything. Personally, I would probably go with dark aluminium. And for that back one, something darker than dark aluminium. That back one looks very reminiscent of titanium. Because it's got that sort of browny hue into it. Or it might be my monitor. Again, that's always the problem. But I might go for a titanium. But looking at it, it looks like a dark aluminium or a flat aluminium type thing. And the back end looks a bit titanium-esque, as in colour, not what it is, clearly. But I'm just going from what I would. And that's using extreme metals. That's how I would go with it. So, yes. Any ideas, guys?
It's got wings.
It's got wings, yeah.
Yeah.
Count me out of it. It's got wings.
It's the wrong shape.
Yeah.
It got tracks.
Brownie.
Well, it's just playing around with different shades of metal, isn't it? And hues and blues.
Get the extreme metals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exhaust, like it's got that very dark browny sort of stripe on it near the engine. So I'd have some fun with that. There's many different dark metals that you could get into it. In bands, in bandit.
Yeah. Your sort of pale burnt metal colours, they've got a nice browny hue to them. I've got the MRP ones. They're quite good.
Yeah.
What them H got in the UK anymore, John?
Yeah. Because the paint used to burn off the back of those things, didn't it?
Okay, so lastly, I've started the Edard 48 scale Lysander build. Put it in the air gallery, but not in work in progress. I'm very, very sorry. Oh, don't worry.
I've just moved it.
Oh, there you go. Andy's already moved it. Not a problem. Nigel says, if this is the right place, I'd like to... No, don't put it in here. Put it in the other one. This is the questions area. Stick it in the forum on today's one, where the video's playing from. Hi, guys. Great show, as usual. Belated birthday wishes to Matt. Is the following kit okay for the C6 SIG? I'd say so. It's on water, isn't it?
It's got floats.
That's it. It floats.
It's on water. He's going to knacker it if he lands it on land, isn't he? So
Yeah, it might be a bit... might pitch up a bit.
It's got more to do with the Sea of the Max builder, so...
Well, yeah.
Good off. Oh, wait. Is that not coming out of water?
Yeah, but we don't think it's coming out of the sea. We think it's coming out of a pond.
Ask Nathan the rules on this, please, because he'll clarify. I spoke to him last night, did I not, Nathan?
We did. I did sort of... I know maritime is strictly sea, but we did do inland waterways, canals, but...
Canals? We're going to have a canoe next.
Can you talk? No,
a guy in a pair of waders, C6 SIG.
I'm going to do a pair of wellies in a puddle.
So if I scratch build one of the Safeway Morrison's trolleys that's down in the
chuck
canal,
it in a bit of water.
down the road, is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently.
I think that'd be a cracking diorama.
Perfectly fine. No, I reckon that if you haven't bought the kit yet, maybe go the Italeri route on the 52. The Airfix one's all right, actually. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think the Italeri one's a bit slightly easier build.
Is the Airfix one theirs, or is that the Hella one?
It's the Hella one.
That's the best one. Apparently. Allegedly.
The most accurate one, I think. I just like... it's like 6 1 half a dozen of the other, really, isn't it? But it's perfect for the SIG. It's got floats.
It's got floats, it counts.
By the way, just to clarify, just before it all kicks off for Nathan and everybody, I'm not building this tank for the C6 SIG. I've got a different subject I'm doing for that. This is just something to do while we're sat here. So,
who's building a
and it's probably a good practice for doing water.
Yes.
Because I've never really done water, so if I mess it up, I'm not that bothered with this thing. So, yeah. So
it's building a T55 for the C6 SIG.
I thought loads of people had built those amphibious Shermans from D-Day. I thought they'd be really... One of them with a big skirt.
Yeah, dual drive tank, yeah. Okay, Paul says, hi Phil and team, have you heard about Kinetic bringing out a 48 scale Picara aircraft? If so, what are your thoughts? It's out. It's been out a while now. You can buy it direct from Lucky Model. We might see it here in about COVID lockdown
December.
According to one of our suppliers, it's late February, early March, but whether or not it'll be late February, early March this year.
Yeah, is that 2028?
Yeah.
So, is it any good? Well, I noticed they did change their box art, haven't they? Because they had a certain weapons fit on it, which apparently the Bakara never flew with. So they've changed it now. So,
to be fair,
because they got slated for it, they said it didn't even carry that weapons fit. It wasn't capable of it. So
the one I'm looking at now has got fuel tanks on it only.
Yeah, because it used to
Did it have rocket pods on it?
No, it had Mark 82s or something.
Right.
And the problem being is it's a bit slow. It wouldn't have got out of the way.
It's a very niche aircraft, isn't it?
Have a look at Rick Greenwood, a member on the forum. He's got a channel and he's got a review sample of one early through back channels. I think Rick works on, doesn't he, with Kinetic? So he's got one on his YouTube already.
Right. Okay. So Matt says. All right. No, sorry. He's just asking about the case. Right. Okay. That's all right. It's a question within a question. Like a circle in the sand.
David in the chat is saying Hataka are no longer delivering to the UK. Our supplies about to get short.
Probably not delivering directly because of the VAT issue.
We have been looking at, because obviously we're supplying to the EU as well as getting stuff from the EU, and we've got ourselves items that we're waiting to get to us, and I know customers are waiting for us to send stuff out to them. And looking at the way the postal systems are working, doing things at the moment, I don't think it'll be more than a few more weeks before we're sort of like, hopefully,
before we're all doomed.
sending stuff back out again and receiving stuff.
David just put it to suspension of the postal operation, so it sounds like it's an extension of this thing that's all over the news at the moment.
Yeah.
It'll be a blip.
Just to answer the other question in here, the IKEA. Somebody's put a question up, but it was a follow-up if you think me cabinets are IKEA.
Yeah, to be honest, I think this is like with a lot of the smaller modelling companies, they're not selling directly to individuals, are they?
I know MRP put an announcement out that they're not shipping to the UK, but they are shipping to their distributors here. So I wonder if Hataka will say no to individual sales, but when it's a bulk order to a distributor, then maybe that was more likely to come through.
Again, some of this isn't, I know people are saying about the VAT issue and stuff like that. A lot of it isn't even that, it's the paperwork. It's because no one's quite sure what the paperwork side is needed to get through customs, and you'd think you would. And it's not even us, it's the company who we deal with, like DHL, DPD, TNT, FedEx, and you would think they would be, pretty much sorted and good to go. But the truth is, I don't know why my camera's still recording. Just turn that off. But it's been recorded, so I was doing that. But yeah, so that's the problem, is that we have heard, as like Andy was saying, there's rumours going around that they're on the cusp of sorting this out, and as soon as they are, we're good to go again. But at the moment, the companies who we use don't work. So, but you would think, I'm not being funny, these big global companies would know what they were doing, but apparently not. But they can't tell us what paperwork we need. So, but anyway, it does sound like they got it sorted, because Andy had an email earlier, didn't you, Andy?
Well, PM had an email, not me, but yeah.
No, it was you. Because we can blame you. We need somebody to throw under the bus when this goes wrong. So, as the junior member of the team, you're it. So yes, good job on that one. Right, okay, so that does it. Oh no, sorry, I've got this one here. Steve Little says, hi all, spraying large figures and suffering from overspray, drying as rough specks. using Mr. Hobby with self-leveling thinners through Procon airbrush. Could this be caused by a cause of turning down and working in smaller areas? What do we reckon?
What was the question?
Yeah.
I've just deleted something.
Spraying large figures and suffering from overspray, drying as rough specks. He's using a Mr. Hobby with self-leveling thinners with the Procon airbrush. Could this be a case of turning pressure down and work in smaller areas?
It's because it's drying in the air, isn't it? So get
Also,
closer.
is it if it's something like a figure with like lots of ruffles and curves and stuff? The wind, the actual air pressure coming off your airbrush and your airflow is going to be all over the place. So I would say get it wet. Is that right, Matt?
Closer. Get closer, get it wet.
There you go. You heard it here first.
So that's it. That's my advice.
So, yes, definitely. Cool.
There is
Right.
another question for Nathan in the.
Back in the other one.
Yeah, it's hi guys. Would East German MiG-21 PF have the lovely green colour in the cockpit? Would it be grey?
I'll get a look. The German ones. Oh.
Because German technically isn't export, so I think it'd be the grey, not the green, wouldn't it?
Was it an export though? If it was part
Well,
of
not in those days.
Yeah.
Would it have been in those days? Part of the USSR then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
East Germany would have been the same as the Czech or the other Warsaw Pact ones. So.
I don't know. I've got an ink in my book on it.
Hold on, we'll check for you.
MiG-21 PF. If I've got a picture of one.
Can I just answer a question while you're faffing around trying to find stuff?
Yeah.
A well-known company starting with a letter has GWH back in stock, which we have seen.
Yeah.
Any news for the PM stock? Well, they get a completely different place from us. So, no, is the answer at the minute. They are coming in. Our Great Wall Lobby's stuff is coming. But yeah, they've got theirs in with another order, I think, from what I can gather. So, from somewhere else, allegedly. It's hard to say it on YouTube, and it can't say what you really, really want to say. I really wish I could, but I can't.
No, don't. You get told off.
I tell you, we would have nobody.
I get told off most shows. If I don't get told off, I've done something wrong.
I would like to answer that question honestly as I can, but I feel like a politician.
Yeah,
I'm really
you do.
starting to feel like when the
I'll be Piers Morgan. Just tell us how it is.
Morgan and they're there squirming and squealing because they can't like answer what they want to. Well, they wouldn't want to say it, would they? But you know what I mean. So yeah, I can't say it.
No.
I can't say what I really want to say, so I'm buttoning my lip and that's why I'm really quiet today because
They've got them and we haven't.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's bloody annoying.
Yeah.
Just put it that way. But then we got lots of stuff they haven't, and they probably were kicking off because we had some stuff the other week that they didn't have.
No, it just works always. They've had a stock
It
order
does go the other way.
and
so,
they've got their stuff in on that stock order. That's what I think. So
yeah.
that's not a nice thing to say, Rob, is it?
Yes.
Has anyone ever built a Mastercraft kit? Do they do a nice Mastercrafter reboxes of all sorts of drivel? If you look, I'd scale-mate it before you even purchase one because they're all. I think some are KP kits and some are Hella. I think. I don't know. They do all sorts. They've reboxed all sorts. Italy, I think, is in there somewhere. So I'll do a bit of research before you buy one.
I've just been Googling MiG-21's East German.
Yes.
And I found the definitive answer.
They're in one.
They were both colours.
Oh, brilliant. There you go.
So I've got pictures of an Emmet MiG-21 and it's got that bright greeny, bluey cockpit, and I've got one here that looks grey. That's a PFM.
Yeah, it looks to me like they were. Yeah, that's PFM green.
Nathan, how's that 1/32 tornado you've got?
What?
Just ask. Ian's asked, have you had the 1/32 tornado in your hands, and what are your thoughts?
No, he hasn't because he's here.
No.
I've not. Yeah, I've not seen it because I'm not going to buy that kit. It's not. I think it's too big for me.
You need to buy it. You're going to get sent one.
I will send it. I'll get it up to you next week, mate. Honest.
I've seen 2 members actually on here build it on the Tornado SIG on Facebook. It does look very, very nice.
We'll get Nathan to do a video build of it.
Speaking of unboxing.
Oh
I
yeah,
had this.
Here's
Here's
Mr.
me.
Philip.
Look, hold on.
Oh yeah.
So this is from my esteemed colleagues, and I'm a bit worried about opening it live on air, knowing what they're like. After I got Matt beautifully once.
Yeah.
So yes, Mole, cardboard.
You're going to put yourself on full screen, Matt, Phil.
Oh, hold on then. Right, so with my glamorous assistant, right, Mole? Right. Oh, it's not too bad. Ooh, look, Mole, what's this? So,
Cardboard Mob.
Mole's got a t-shirt. Oh, who was this who sent these?
That was
Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
No, they're not all yours. One's for John.
Oh, is it? Right, John, which one do you want?
I think he's one of the black ones. I think because I think that might be too big for him.
Yeah, I'll have one of the
Ooh, very nice.
Look.
I'll have the one without all the X's in front of
There
it.
you go. For them.
You got yours on.
Is he wearing
I
it?
wear
Is
it.
he?
I wear it underneath my top. It's quite nice. Keeps me warm.
Hold on, let me put you on. There you go.
What?
Show us again. There you go.
Thank you,
Okay.
Michael. Very nice of you.
Is that the same person that sent the key ring?
No,
No.
that's a completely different person.
Oh right. Whoever sent these, thank you very much.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Where's
So
Ethan gone?
we've got, only because you can never have enough of them, another Spitfire. So this is the Mark II, isn't it? So we did the Mark I, which was the few. This one's the Tally Ho. So we've got
Yes,
that one.
Tally Ho.
Tally Ho. Okay, old bean. Oh, so just because I actually got rid of one of these not so long ago, so these are back in. How many of these we got?
There's about
4.
6 left. I think.
4.
But
Four.
4 left, is there? There you go. Grab them whilst you can.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see him again.
That's it. We don't have to see them again. Okay, this is a mass set for a little project I've got upcoming. Catalogue. And then we've got, yeah, thanks for this lot. What was this? Bird's Nest.
The catalogue was just in the bottom of a box, and Matt said send it to Phil.
Oh, right, okay.
Molly.
Molly.
Ultra.
Molly's going to love this. She's going to eat all this. Tiger Moth. So we've got Tiger Moth there. Well, let's not eat all of this, eh? Right, okay. This is something a lot of people have been asking for a review of. So these will all be probably reviewed next week. I don't know if I'll get any chance to do them, so I want to finish this thing. So these will all be up next week. So we've got the Mole, will you not start eating this? This isn't good. Molly, do you want to show everyone what you're doing? Look, this is what I have to put up with. She's eating it. Right, okay. So what else we got? We have a Mirage 3 Mia models. Isn't it? Oh no, models of it. Models of it. Mum, don't eat it all.
Nice.
Okay, we've got Austin Powers Special.
The Jag.
Got the Jag. So, Matt, are you still building yours?
I'm good at, I'm hoping we'll start next week, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't.
So you can review it and I'll build it.
Right. Okay. We've also got a very nice. This is the Cyber Hard Bee Vampire.
What's Molly doing?
She's eating the cardboard.
Oh,
Can you see her? Look, this is what I have to put up with. She's actually eating your cardboard. She thinks it's very nice. Look, she's pulling it out like spaghetti. Mo, let go of it. Right, we got that. What else have we got in cart? We've also got Vickers Viking 1A.
Yep.
From Ballum. We've also got, oh look, okay, so this is the 72nd Bedford Refueler, the IBG version.
Yeah.
Very nice. We've also got, oh look, the Europa.
A little Europa.
Europa. Did you see Tammy's release of the Fiat? The
That's,
rally car.
Fiat 131, innit?
Yeah.
Mirror Fury.
Yeah. Right, okay. What's in the box?
That's your little glass and stuff. Be careful.
Oh, right, okay. I'll do that in a sec. I'll do
That's
that
yours
last.
and John's in the little poster.
Okay, fair enough. And then last up, well, I'll let you off. It's not that bad. I thought mine was going to get proper mullered.
Wow.
We have, after waiting a year, they finally racked up. You might remember a couple of weeks ago. So this is the 32nd F15C. We got them in on a special. I wanted it, so we ended up getting loaded. Are you enjoying that? She said you sat there eating it. Nice.
Can hear her.
Your mum will kill me. Right. Okay. Very good. Look at that lot. It's like Christmas come early. You know what I'm going to be doing all week? I'll be doing reviews. Right. So in here, where's my knife? Anyone see where I put it? Oh God, I've lost my knife. Molly, don't eat the knife. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then in here we have. Molly, stop eating cardboard. Ooh, very nice. Got fridge magnets. So me and John have got one each. I take it, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and we've got. Oh. It always worries me doing this live on air with you lot. Wow, that's posh, isn't it? Isn't it funny how the LAPD does shot glasses, though?
Yeah, no, I thought that. I didn't actually think that.
It's a bit like, you know, I don't know. Does another police department do a bong?
Yeah, that's the drugs department.
Yeah,
one,
that's it. The drugs department do a bong or something. That's how they give away a present. Thank you very much. No, that's very nice. To protect and serve. Very nice
Should be
indeed.
some badges in there as well, Phil.
Oh, is there? What, in here? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't see those. We've also got nice little pin badges as well. So that's it. Are we honorary detectives? Cool. Right, I'll put John's separate.
And they were all from Michael Diaz.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank
Absolutely
you, Michael.
fantastic. I'll be wearing that. Goes very
He's
nicely.
retired LAPD sergeant. And he also sent us a picture of him stood next to
Wrong one.
Sean Connery.
Certainly wish money penny. So yes. Cool. How good's that? Right, Mal, stop eating cardboard. Good job. So obviously next week I will get on with the reviews and say this thing will be done, as you can probably see. She's basically done. Like we were discussing, we'll do a yes or no. Should we weather it or not? Because some of the guys are saying don't weather it, others are saying weather it. Where's my overhead?
Oh, Michael's in chat as well.
Oh, is he in chat? Oh, thank you very much, Michael. None of this is glued together yet, but it is sort of together. That makes sense. Bearing in mind, I only sprayed the stand literally as we came on air. So yes. So that was fun yesterday, obviously, with the decaling and all the rest of it. So very, very nice. None of it's actually together yet. Eh?
I don't think you should weather it.
You don't reckon weather it?
And I am a fan of weathering. I'll be the first to say mute, but I don't think. What do you think, John, Mr. Trekker?
No, I'd be tempted to leave it like that.
You reckon leave it?
Yeah.
Good, that's handy. Right, I'm done, finished. No, I've actually got to put it together. I haven't actually put it together. It's got a couple of other bits. I've got to do some bits around the back end. It's got some lighty bits I've got to do, get me pens on it and all the rest of it. But yes, no, it's coming together. I must admit. Considering it's been like 2 days solidly and nothing but decaling, it finally we've seen the light of the tunnel and we've got it now. So
you could put some Starship filth on it.
Well, yes, I could. The one Starship I've got here, and I did it on the other one, on the Discovery.
You've got give it a dark dirt wash. I vote weather it. Light weather.
Just a pin
about space dust.
Well, I did think, because obviously there's no panel lines on anywhere on the engine nacelles, but there is obviously panel lines on the body and on the toilet lid dish thing, this bit. What's the technical term for this, John?
That's the saucer section,
The saucer. The original. Give it a cool name at least. Because that's the bridge. Get that bit. So, yes.
Is that because it flies? It's a flying saucer.
It's a flying saucer.
It's
So,
a
yes.
primary hull, according to Mr. McCluskey.
A what?
A primary hull.
Right, okay.
No.
I thought that would be the hull, the main bit at the back.
As Nigel says, it's the weather in space.
Yeah, but this one, I've seen it underwater. Yeah, from this film, it starts the film under the sea, isn't it? And comes up.
Yeah, it does.
And then obviously it crashes at the end, isn't it? Or almost. It's in bits. It's pretty weathered at the end. So, yes. So, very good. I don't know. We'll see. I might give it just a light wash. Because I have to. It might need that for the Saturday show. Oh, demoing washes.
The thing is, if it's got no panel lines, like Phil says, it's not going to hold a wash, is it?
No. Well, I was going to give it a satin finish and grime it, so don't know. But then, I don't know. I don't think it should. It's nice as it is.
Yeah. Space Dust used to eat that popping candy.
Yeah.
Like Neil says, it's got shields. How can it be weathered? But if you watch it at the beginning of the film, it comes out of the sea. The shields aren't on it then. There's water pouring off of it.
So it would have been washed, so it'd be nice and clean.
Well, true, but that's salt corrosion. Have you ever dunked a car in water and tried to drive it a few years later? So
A good coating of radiation will do.
Hey?
Prescribe it.
Prescribe it. I did prescribe down the back because it was a bit niff. So I must admit, I did do that.
Rusting streaks.
Look, Paul says, Phil, you think you've had problems painting your dinky J.J. Adams Enterprise? I'm just about start painting my 1:350 scale Enterprise refit with 5-color Aztec. Why would you need 5? Did they have 5-color?
Is that the Mobius one? Is it the?
Don't know. What's those ones we had in, Matt? Because I did the review of the Klingon Bird of Prey in 1:350, didn't we? The huge thing. That was a good kit.
Yeah.
Didn't you get Rob one?
I don't. Somebody had one. Yeah. I mean, Thingy sells them anyway. You can get them from Gary at Tiger Hobbies. He's got the big ones in. He's got the refit and the other one in because there's a right price discrepancy that we don't understand.
Polar Lights, Rob said.
Polar Lights, yeah. But yeah, Gary sells Polar Light stuff at Tiger. Go there if you want a big Enterprise. I think.
Well, no, I don't want an Enterprise. I'll do a Klingon Bird of Prey though, because that's cool. It's got the greens and the Aztec and all the hues, isn't it, and stuff like that. So hold on, I'll see if I can find it. I've got the review here somewhere. It's on a bit of a go slow today because we're doing everything at once. Come on, load. There we go. What do we got? I think it's in here. I was going to redo it with a section for sci-fi and stuff. There it is. The Klingon Battle Cruiser. That's a cool one. Quite fancy doing that. But it was 1:350th, but it's very expensive, wasn't it?
It's not cheap, but it's big, isn't it?
Oh, it's a monster, isn't it? It's huge.
It's a Katinga. Apparently.
You could do with the 1 to 500 the same scale as that, couldn't you? And have them both together.
I found a picture of a German MiG.
Is that what you've been looking for all this time?
Yeah.
I wonder why you got quiet.
It's grey.
Grey, is it?
But
I'm going to have off
it's
now.
in a museum, so
Chatter.
Yeah.
reprinted, I don't know.
Is that one that looked really, really brand new inside?
It's one that's just I'm looking at the nose section in a museum and see the inside of the canopy and some of the cockpit stills.
With the pilot stuck inside of it?
No, it's grey.
I mean, a thing of a pilot, a mannequin.
I've got pictures of the MiG-21 Bisses and MFs, and they were that bright blue colour. The PF is the one where the canopy opens forward.
Yeah.
This one's grey. It's a tricky one, isn't it? So it's on Wiki. Yeah. And I've got another one, the National Museum, the American. So I've got one in the museum in Dayton, Ohio. And that's grey. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because the PF one with the forward opening fuselage canopy was an early one, wasn't it? Early-ish MiG-21.
Yeah.
So they probably would have been grey.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Must admit, when I did the Edard one of that one, it was grey. I was quite disappointed when I came to do it.
Why have Edard never done the early version like an F-13 then?
I don't know. It's
Probably would have needed quite a bit of retooling, wouldn't it?
possibly. I think the MF is my favourite. I like the ones with the side opening canopy, the MF ones.
Oh, the big bulgy back end or the big bulgy spine ones.
That's the SMT, isn't it?
SMT, yeah.
But the one in America's got markings for North Korea, whether it's an original North Korea one, I'm not sure. But this is the problem in museum stuff, they can get repainted, don't they? But I'm seeing more pictures of grey than blue. But the Germans would have picked them up and bought them in the same way that the Polish, the Czechs, etc. would have done. I reckon it's grey, you know, but that's enough MiG pictures of it. This is the problem. This is the fun of modelling.
Grey.
This is me going down the rabbit hole, isn't it, live on camera? But I've got pictures on the from the Luftwaffe Museum.
Have you seen what they put in chat?
Well, you should build this for $4,500, yeah.
It's a 6-foot Enterprise, so yeah, you can keep your one for $350. If you've seen this thing, it's only $4,500 plus shipping. It's 71 inches.
You seen them holding that main?
Yeah, the main body of it. It's like the width of his body. Let me put it onto the main thing. Hold on, I'll get it, bring it over here, because that's actually quite incredible, that is.
It's sat in his kitchen.
Yeah.
That's huge. You could eat your dinner off that.
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
You need to, but there's been no room.
I was going to say, you could actually have it as your dining room table. Look at the size of that. That's ridiculous. Look at this. Look, it's literally a table for 4. So that's it. If anybody says they're doing a big one now, they're lying unless you're building that. My lordy, that's incredible. Yeah, just £4,500. This could be yours.
Plus shipping.
Plus shipping.
How much is shipping?
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned that bit, funnily enough. Look at it on the kitchen table, though. That's incredible. That's stupid. That's one of those ones where it's like, that's no longer a model. That's like a thing you have in the front of your house.
That was huge.
Yeah, as David said, how do you explain that to the wife? Do you imagine, she comes home, yeah, I'll move it in a minute, love, don't worry. Like, where? It won't even fit out the door.
To be honest with you, when you look at it, there's no detail on it, though, is there?
No. No, you have to add that. That's where your modelling skills come in.
That cuts me out then.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. Do you keep the trailer that it comes to your house in, isn't it?
That's enormous.
For $4,500, you'd want to.
I mean, that could be grounds for divorce if some modelers bought that, couldn't it? Isn't that the one of the museums in America have got the original one, haven't they? The actual film set one. I wonder if it's the same size as that.
No idea. Very impressive,
the
though.
Smithsonian, might be wrong. I think the Smithsonian on the edge of Washington got the original model of the Enterprise. And I bet that's the same size.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnson.
Look, we're back to 5 o'clock show, so the dogs are all here. Nice. Where are we? Yeah, that'd definitely be grounds for divorce, that one.
If you look at their sold pieces, Phil, they've got some nice Star Wars stuff in there that they've done.
Where's that?
It's the top.
All right. Oh, look. I get a life pendant, apparently. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. The escape pod. Oh, Eagle Lander. Oh, the Executor. But that'd be absolutely stupidly big then.
What would?
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
How big's that? Has it got a size? 38 inches. Jesus. See, look, we're in the wrong business. We should be doing one-offs. Look, there's the other one. That's 41 inches. 1/17 scale for an AT-AT.
Well, that's quite cool. How much is that?
Oh no, sorry, wrong one. That's the Buck Rogers. Which is this one then? Where's that one? You haven't got a thing here. Let's go with a picture. That's the Buck Rogers. AT-AT is... doesn't say how big it is. No, it's that big. It's probably the same size as the one I did. Although this is probably a bit better. Because mine was made by Revel. Buck Rogers ship. See, don't see many of those. Nobody's ever done remakes of those kits, have they?
No.
Y-Wing. Oh, it's Corvette. A-Wing. Crikey, I've done tons, haven't they?
Yeah, 40 pages. That's a lot.
Jesus. There you go, that's the one. That'll be the Polar Lights one then, I take it. Yeah, it's quite impressive. Very nice. Yes, well, one day, no prices. Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. You see the prices, you'll be like, okay.
Yes, if you have to ask.
Apparently, the one in the Smithsonian is 11 foot long.
So Christopher's put a link on. So it was right, it was in the Smithsonian. Well worth a visit. Is leaving the Smithsonian on the mall.
You've got to wait. Got a quarter of an hour yet, mate. We'll say hello. All right, okay. Jesus, calm down. Yes, kids. I know dinner's at 5 o'clock normally, but you have to wait today. Yes, creepo. Right, come on. Down. You make off with my tea towel. Lola. You go. But, Mal, wrong. Shush now.
Hey, how much cardboard you got left?
Oh, no, I've closed the box. Otherwise, literally, she'd eat the lot. Dog's addicted to cardboard, especially that stuff. She thinks it's, like, great. It's stringy, it's chewable, it's fantastic. Where'd you put your big models? Hang them on the wall. That's what you do. That's how you get rid of them. That's what I've done. So I might actually put the VC10 up over there this the weekend. I'll get the bracket on the wall, get that one up out of the way, and then the rest of it I'll put down in the unit, I think.
When you're allowed back up.
Molly, it's enough, thank you. No playing. Honestly. Don't have a go at me. Don't you start at me. Okay.
There we go.
Honestly, never worked with animals or kids. We've got both here, literally. Molly, sod off. I can see you. Russell says, I've ordered a damaged box, 150th scale panther. Couldn't resist a panther for 10 quid. I know.
There you go.
Good job.
To be fair, even if you sort of like bang it together and use it to test out your weathering skills, and yeah, it's a bargain really, isn't it, for that price?
It is.
I think it's a cracking kit anyway. Classic.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's like before, like classic, the Rifle one. You know, you get bogged down in all that detail. It's all surface detail, so it's nice. You get straight into your painting and your weathering.
They could have it built in a weekend.
Yeah.
Have you had a look at the Corsair yet, Matt?
Yeah. I was going to say, tell you what, I can't see the damage on the box.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Andy's ears are pricking up. He'll want that one then. Look.
Yeah, I've got the other one though, so
Tell you what,
You'll need the other one then. You need the early one. Have the birdcage one.
yeah. But if I've got the birdcage, I'd have to have the third one as well. So
This is it. You see.
it's a bit expensive then, doesn't it?
Right, hold on, I'll go and get it, because I had when I unboxed them today, I was looking for it, I couldn't see the damage.
Oh, wrong one. Where is he? Is he over here? There he is.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I found it, found the damage. This is the export version only with clear bits. Hold on, let me change my camera and I'll show you.
They all say that.
There you go, look.
Yeah, hold on. Still can't see it.
I know you can't, the camera too near. Right, I'll be back on, there you go.
There you go.
Right then, the damage is that, you can't even see, you're not see it, because there's a crease in this corner. That is it. Look at the back, look, even the back's not dented.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it is literally this bottom corner here has got a really slight crease in it. Can you see it on camera?
Yeah.
You mean, yeah?
I can hear the cogs in Andy's head whirring.
He is. Yeah.
That's basically mint condition virtually, and then it's crazy.
And they put price back up. We'll put this as alright stuff. If it's not gone by tonight, it's going back up. How much is it? 95 quid?
95 pence.
Is it? And what can you do? What versions can you do? Is this a Marine one? US Marine Corps in the Solomon Islands, 1943, and say, so yeah, 2 Marine Corps ones from.
So you could do a great, really nice weathering job on that, couldn't you?
Yeah, because one's XF18 and 19, and the other one's got the 3-tone on it, I think, or 2-tone, is that? No, 3-tone on it. Insignia white, navy blue, and intermediate blue. And the other one's in, I think it's intermediate blue and neutral grey, would that be? Ish? Light grey underneath? I don't know. There you go.
Very nice.
It's alright though, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, we get a nice figure. Very nice. Very smart.
Russell says slightly bigger scale and Matt could sit in it.
Yeah, far off.
No, you can't go wrong with a bit of weathering.
Right then, hold on, I'm going to show you some on these instructions for all you naysayers. Look,
Right.
it has a propeller.
That's all right then.
All right. So it's got a fan.
Got a propeller to propel it in water.
It's a dual drive. Got a fan on the back.
So that'll count as amphibious to me.
Fine with that one.
What does everyone in chat think? Do they think that counts as a C6 SIG?
Do you know what? And I'm not bothered what they think. One bit, not bothered.
He doesn't care. Does anyone know if the HE115 is any good? Special hobby one. It's got Rebels reboxing of an old 76 Matchbox kit in the stash, but curious about the 48 scale version of it. Built the Matchbox one way back then in the day as one of the subjects I wanted to revisit now. So what do we know? Do we know about this kit? I don't know anything about it, to be honest.
I was tempted to do that a while ago, and then Matt and Andy said, isn't that the one where the plastic doesn't glue?
Yeah, that's why they pulled it. This is the new re-edition. So hopefully they fixed that. We only knew that from the guy that came around the shows who were building it and said he couldn't get it to glue together.
Even Superglue said, "We'll touch it into it," but it has been. It's been re-released, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's David Coper, but he did eventually get it together, and it built up really well. But it's not.
Cool.
It's going to be a little challenging build, but
yeah.
Right. Built up okay.
Yeah, sorry guys, we have no control over the internet. Matt is a bit fuzzy today. He's not his normal sort of 4K self.
Ew.
You're just a little bit fuzzy today.
Am I?
Because you've been crystal clear recently. You've still got to wait. No matter how much you try and butter me up. Could you sponsor Lola? Just £18 buys her a sack of dog food. Look,
the weather we've had, it's not surprising really, but...
Well, this is it. But also, we're later in the day. Everybody be on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Come on, down you get. No, get down. Play with Molly. Look, she's got a rope. Come on, get down. Down. Look. Mal, Lola, grab this. Take her in the kitchen. There you go. Go on. That's it. Yeah, it's technically not the C6 SIG. We sort of renamed it. It's actually a maritime SIG, but we sort of in joke with us lot.
It's for Andy's benefit because he loves water and sailing and boating. That's why he keeps looking at yachting videos and stuff.
I'd love to buy a yacht.
Right, let me just shut the door. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'd love to buy a yacht, but I get seasick, so.
I've not been on a ship in years, so I hope I was all right 20 years ago. But no. Are you all right where you live? Because how far's the sea?
Which way? That way or that way?
Isn't it about the same both ways?
Yes. I don't know, probably 100 miles each way, I suppose.
Yes. I think we are about the furthest from the sea you can get, aren't we?
Yeah.
For an island. That's better.
We're about 300 miles north or south and about 100 miles east or west.
And me, I'm about 7 miles from the sea.
In a straight line, I'm 10 miles from the sea.
What about you, John?
Don't count. He's got the Bristol Channel.
Does that not count as the sea?
Well, it does technically.
People watching this in the middle of the States are thinking, what are you guys on about? I'm hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah, that's it.
My lad's been accepted at university in Bristol.
Is he?
Get in there and get his bags packed.
Oh, that was his fifth choice out of 5. But he's had his first and second choices come through as well. So.
Be packing him off soon. Should we expect to see your model room move into his room when he moves?
Yeah, that used to be my model room before he was.
Is he going to get
Room's a
demoted?
thing. Yeah.
Bigger space.
Yeah.
Get off, mate.
Here, come over, there'll be a sleeping bag in here on the floor for him.
The guys talk about Zimmer. How do you do more complicated patterns and stuff? I personally always do my own. I prefer to do my own because I think it just gives a more natural look because it looks rough as it would be.
Trumpeter do the Zimmer tool, don't they, with the different patterns on?
Yeah.
We sell it, don't we?
Yeah.
Is it on site?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's one of those that when you go somewhere like the Tank Museum and see it actually applied to a tank, it is as rough as hell, isn't it?
Yeah. So I always do my own. I prefer to do my own because you can actually chip chunks of it off when it's hard. You can actually crack it off and give chippy effects with it as if it's had it. But as I say, I've never seen genuine Zimmerit look good. It always looks really crap.
So, like you can get photo etched Zimmerit and resin, but like you've said, it's just too perfect. It's never
that's the trouble. Yeah.
The patterns are just perfect and everything. You're better off with putty or whatever and roll your own.
Yeah.
I say that Zimmerit tool's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I did it years ago on a Tamiya Tiger. I used Milliput.
Yeah.
When I did it on the King Tiger, you say I took chunks out of it all around the bottom and everywhere. Various bits on there where it was hanging off.
Can you show them the Zimmerit tool on the
Where is it? In tools.
in tools? Yeah.
Gary says, yeah, you could do a Zimmerit demo on Saturday. Andy,
you could Zimmerit your Matilda tank.
Zimmerit Matilda, you think?
Oh, God.
Where is it? Give us a
I'll tell you what. If
It's
just
a
go back
blue
to,
packet with a red.
Yeah, it's that red thing there. No, go back up with Trumpeter. Go back up next to the second one in from the thingy tool. Next one in. That's it, innit?
Yeah.
So what you do is you get a couple of rollers and you get a stamp, I think, and stamps, and you make your own. If you want to see a really, 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 really good video on doing Zimmerit, go to Night Shift's YouTube channel. He's done a bro one on his Tiger tank of how to do it. Pretty good, to be honest.
The best one I've ever seen.
Phil's got his on his Tiger tank as well.
Yeah.
They both met their own. It's good. Good, worth a look.
So to answer your question, Gordon, yes, I've done it. It's here in video builds. This is it. So that one, the King Tiger. So if you want to see the last part of it, part 14's up. The rest of it's in the usual place. So yes, that'll be in here. Hold on, I'll find the bit on Zimmer. No, we won't. We're out of time. But yes, down in Ha. It will be part. That's the photo there. There you go. So it'll be in part 10 of the video build. Yeah.
What did you use for it? You used
thingy. My favourite. Perfect plastic putty.
What was it? I thought you used No More Nails.
No, definitely perfect plastic putty. So yeah, and I just use saw blades as well, so nothing fancy at all. That's just a saw blade, and then you just smear it over it, and then you just go along and go and wiggle, go along, wiggle, and just do it. And literally did the entire thing where you watch it live in that. It's only about sort of 5-6 minutes, and then just give it half hour to go off. Once it's gone completely off, you can actually chip it, get your nail under it, or just pick at it and take chunks of it off. So yours. Cool. Right, we're out of time.
Yes, we are at 5 o'clock gone.
The dogs are going mad. So yes. Right. What time are we doing tomorrow?
2, aren't we? If you
2.
want,
We're
or
back to
3.
2 o'clock
I
tomorrow.
don't care what you want to do.
I don't
Nathan,
mind.
do you want to come on?
I'm in work.
All right.
Till 4:35 anyway.
All right. So it's up to you, Phil. What do you want to do?
Well, we'll do 2 if you want. That way, if we run over, it's not too much of a problem. So
Yeah,
if we do sort of 2 o'clock tomorrow, and we
Yes.
go from there, then obviously on Saturday, we'll be starting at whenever Matt's ready,
10.
Midday then.
5 to 12.
You
And
can
then
start with
obviously,
that, you know.
eh?
You can start with that, man.
Well, we know that. Just don't like to. We do feel left out. So so obviously don't forget we got our special show on Saturday, so we're going to be with you all day Saturday, so we'll be doing lots of demos and tutorials and various bits and pieces like that, just as soon as me and Andy can work them out. We'll talk about this later, Andy, it'll be fine. And then so we're going to be doing in the morning till around about midday, then we'll be back with you all afternoon, and then for the evening Nathan's going to do us a special quiz night about the Mary Rose. Like how many seamen have gone down? Anyway, and other questions.
Nice job for tomorrow night to write that, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So any other useless rivets of information we could get. So anyway, tomorrow, obviously, get the next part of this one up. Don't know how many parts there's going to be because I haven't done any editing. I'm filming for the last 3 days and I haven't edited any of it yet. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the morning. I'll be doing those. Obviously, next week I'll be getting on with the reviews and things like that. And then we'll be getting on with our next project. So yes, coming along very, very nicely to make our way through. So big thank you for John for joining us this afternoon.
No problem.
And to Nathan as well, rushing back from school, getting in here. Thank you very much indeed. To Andy, great work he's doing on the site as well at the moment. Thank you very much. And to Matt, keeping us all in check as well. So, very good. Anyway, we will see you all again very soon, guys. Happy modelling. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow at 2. Have fun. Bye.
Bye.